Sports fan, this is Stephen Hill for JustMyPicks.com. I'm bringing you a very special top 5 breakdown of my opinion on the 5 best centers in NBA history. When you look at center in the NBA now, it's almost an extinct position, and in honor of that, I'm going to be bringing you the top 5 NBA centers in the history of the National Basketball Association. Coming in at number 5, you have to look at Mr. Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt the Stilt played with a number of NBA teams. You're looking at what he did with the Sixers and Lakers as being predominantly the height of his success. You're looking at how he changed the game, how he averaged 50 points in a season, how he just tremendously took over and did things the way he wanted to. Wilt was a ladies' man. Believe it or not, he slept with over 100 women, scored 100 points, did a lot of tremendous things. But when I look at it, Wilt ran into Bill Russell a lot, and Bill Russell was able to calm him down and really shut him down during certain parts of his career. Even though he was great as he was, he did not win that many championships that people think he should have won. He would be higher on this list, but his lack of championship pedigree that he possibly could have won 4, 5, or 6 championships is why he's so low on this list. But regardless, he's still Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain, and he still put up pretty prolific numbers in his rebounding averages and his scoring averages and his blocking averages. One of the top 5, no doubt, greatest centers of all time. Coming in at number 4, Hakeem Olajuwon. When you look at footwork, when you look at taking care of yourself as a big man, when you look at the spin moves, when you look at the baby hooks, when you look at the defensive prowess and being athletic. Coming into the NBA, we didn't see a lot of athletic centers before Hakeem Olajuwon. You look at the way that he played the sport and how he really didn't play basketball until late in his life. You're looking at what Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon did back to back and how they beat a young Shaquille O'Neal, fairly young, but you just seeing some of the things that he did and how he rebounded the basketball, how he was a very big part of the Houston Rockets movement when they won back-to-back NBA titles, and just the things that he's shown. You have now a lot of NBA centers who come to him, including Dwight Howard, possibly the most dominant center in the NBA today, Dwight Howard, for advice, for skills, for knowledge, for know-it-all, go-to moves, as he is deemed one of the gurus in the NBA, as one of the best centers of all time. He comes in at number 4. Coming in number 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. A lot of people credit his success to being dominant at the right time. Just being born in the right place, right time. Formerly Lew Alcindor, coming from the Milwaukee Bucks to the Lakers. A lot of people had a lot to say. He was formidable with Oscar Robertson back in the day, but when he really made his mark is when he was with the Los Angeles Lakers. Looking at some of the championships that he's won, cut from a different cloth. Guy is pretty dominant when he played the game of basketball with the running hook. He did a lot of things that a lot of other players didn't. Scored a lot of points in the NBA. Let's face it, when he got up in age, he continued to take care of himself and grew into a better ambassador for the NBA. Looking at what he could have done if he got magic a little earlier in his career, I think he would have put up another couple thousand of points. I think that with the team that they had and the roster that they had, they didn't do enough early on to supply him with more talent that they could have possibly got early on in Kareem's career. But without saying anything negative, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is definitely one of the top 5 NBA centers of all time. Just looking at his body of work and how he carried himself on the court, and just the style of play that he did. He brought a style of play that the NBA was not really accustomed to. He was a very big body, tall, lanky, got the job done when needed to. So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar comes number 3 on this list. Number 2, I have to look at Mr. Bill Russell. A lot of people debate if he's the greatest power forward of all time or center. Back in his day, he played a little of both. He played center and power forward. At times, he was the biggest person on the court for the Boston Celtics. Looking at how he pulled down a couple of 40-point rebound games. It's just some things that Bill Russell did well. And you look at it, 11 championships in 13 years. That's pretty damn efficient if I've never seen so myself. A lot of people say that he took advantage of the team he was playing for. Well, if you have other Hall of Famers around you, you're supposed to excel. You're supposed to really stand out and show how good you are. Bill Russell is the blueprint for what you want to be if you're basically a fundamentally sound big man. He defended the ball well. He played excellent defense when you're looking at the way that the game was played. And just anything that came off that backboard was his rebound. He outdueled Kareem. He outdueled Wilt Chamberlain in several key matchups and several head-to-head where they clashed. The Titans clashed down in the center position. Even though he gave up a couple of inches to Wilt Chamberlain, he still got the job done at the end of the day. Only losing 2 seasons and winning 11 championships is remarkable. It's greatness, and you can't argue with the ring count. You can't argue with certain things, but when it comes down to it, Bill Russell is the second greatest center in NBA history. Now, coming in at number 1, you have the big Aristotle, Shaquille O'Neal, the big Cactus, the big Green Monster. You know, whatever team he moved to, he brought a big personality to. You're looking at if he would have just hit some of his free throws, he could have been up there higher on the points list, possibly passing Kareem. So you look at just how dominant it was. You came up with Hack-a-Shaq. They came up with so many things that deterred him from scoring points. But Shaq was still dominant, bringing down backboards, breaking rims, breaking glasses. Just the way that Shaq carried himself. People were afraid of Shaquille O'Neal. He was robbed of the MVP a couple of seasons. But when you look at Shaquille O'Neal's body of work, he carried Kobe Bryant to several NBA championships. The number's 3 to be exact, because Kobe was a sidekick to Shaq. People really don't remember all that they went through and how dominant Shaq was. When Shaq was having a bad night, he was averaging like 26 a night. Those were considered bad nights for Shaq. And like he says now, they barbecue chicken. Shaq would be shacking a fool each and every night, dropping 30 on fools, not even caring, and giggling and laughing and smiling the whole night long. He's a very big character when it came to on the court and all-star games. But Shaq was tremendous for the growth of the NBA. He even literally sold lots of Shaq sneakers that are inexpensive in itself. Shaq, for the most part, was one of the most dominant big men in the NBA. You look at it being a global game. You look at what he did with the Dream Team when he did get his chance to play against some of those players like a Michael Jordan. When he got to play against an Akeem Olajuwon. When you got to play against some of the best that ever put on an NBA uniform. You look at what he did in all-star games. You look at how he just carried himself on the basketball court. Shaq is the greatest center in NBA history. So this is my top 5 list. I've gone from 5 to 1. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Did I miss somebody? That's right. Leave your comments and then send me a quick synopsis of what you think I did in my list. And if you had my list reordered, tell me who would be in a different order. As always, share this video in your Facebook group. Don't forget to like my Facebook page, Facebook.com/JustMyPicks, so we can debate each and every day over the current events in sports. Thank you so very much for tuning in. It's been my pleasure to bring you my top 5 list of the NBA centers of all time. We'll catch you next time. And as always, let the debate begin.